So I want you to meet Sam and Kristie. And Sam is a pretty healthy fella. He exercises, he eats right. You know, he's the biker on weekends. He's the granola eating. He's the flannel wearing, boots wearing, straw chomping, rugged guy. He's the beach volleyball playing, skiing, surfing, swimming, pickup truck guy, right? So Sam is pretty rugged. But Sam, in addition to having diabetes, also has something called Hashimoto's hypothyroidism, right? Which is an autoimmune disease. But Sam is wondering, wait a minute, what's going on? Because I know I have diabetes. They told me about that. But how did this other thing happen? How did this other autoimmune disease happen? Because I'm pretty healthy. Kristie is a diabetic. Kristie has type 2 diabetes. And her doctor has told her that if she lost some weight, if she controlled her diet, if she exercised, that it may reverse her diabetes. She would take less insulin, be on less medication. But Kristie is working hard to control her diabetes. She's taking insulin, right? Because her blood sugars are that high. So she's taking insulin. And as she's taking the insulin is causing her to put on weight. And because she's putting on weight, now she's having problems with her back, with her knees. She's developed sleep apnea. And she's wondering, wait a minute, you're telling me to lose weight. You're telling me that I need to have a better lifestyle. But the medication that I'm on is causing me to put on weight. It's causing me to have more, quote unquote, problems than maybe the disease was. So how do I exercise when I don't feel like it? How do I control my appetite when the medication, the insulin, is causing me to be hungry? I'm starving at nighttime. And those are the questions that Sam and Kristie are asking. So diet. Mind your food. What does that mean? We've just talked about carbohydrates, right? We've just talked about carbohydrates and how carbohydrates can cause issues for us. Now, last week, and I'm going to use this as an example. Last week, we talked about the vegetarian diet. The week before, we talked about Mediterranean and low carb, ketogenic, and intermittent fasting and so forth. All of the diets, one of the benefits of the diets is that they help with portion control. I'm pausing. Portion control. They help with portion control. Now, one of the secrets, and well, it's not a secret, but one of the things that we don't talk about is, you heard me in my rant a little while ago, and I'm putting my hand up, right? Because I'm there, right? So I have a patient who comes in, and we're going to talk diabetes because it is a very representative group of people, right? Because we see the complications a lot quicker in them. Got a patient who comes in, the A1C is high, blood sugars are high. And I know if I don't control the blood sugar, that their chances of developing complications is very high. Okay? So I'm gonna take that patient and I'm going to hit them with as much treatment as I can to bring that A1C, bring those blood sugars down as soon as possible. Why? Because I'm trying to prevent damage. As I said to someone a little while ago, sometime this week actually, last week, is if I'm on a boat and the boat is going down, patch the hole first before you start trying to bail out the water. Patch the hole first, then we can get water out of it. So with diabetics, with people who are having complications, people who are at risk for complications, we hit them hard. We say, hey, no, we got to get this blood sugar down. As I'm doing that, the very medications, y'all, that we sometimes put people on, insulin, for example, sulfonylureas, as another example, those medications cause people to put on weight. But what was the problem in the first place? Right? Do you see? Right? So portions, and let's talk about portions and carbohydrates. When we talk about carbohydrates, the amount of carbs that you eat, is directly related to the height of your insulin spike. And as you know, insulin is one of those things that can cause lots of changes in the body. It can cause mood changes. It can cause you to be hungry. It can cause you to retain fluid. It can cause you to put on weight. Right? So the higher the carbs we have, the hungrier we could potentially be. Why? Because we're spiking the insulin, and the insulin makes us hungry. Now, that's aside from any weight that we've put on. I just ate a cookie, right? And the cookie causes my insulin to spike, and the insulin that spiked to bring the blood sugar down makes me hungry an hour and a half later. And so what do I do again? I go back and I eat another cookie. And that cycle goes on and on and on and on. So when we talk about carbohydrates and portions, what we're really talking about is we're talking about the density of the food. Now, how much food did you have to eat 20, 30, 40 years ago to get the same amount of carbs, the same density of carbohydrates as you can get in a cookie? Right? You have to eat food. You have to eat food so your stomach was full. And you didn't get the spike that you got in the insulin. Because when you eat that cookie, that is a direct line. That's like opening up your mouth and pouring in sugar.